I am so glad meeting you here, Bobby. It's been like 3 years since we saw each other last.
But I tried a few times recently to reach you on the phone, but you were always out of reach. But anyways, my law firm is doing fairly good. As a matter of fact, we've expanded our branches to cover additional 3 districts.
That's impressive. I am happy for you, my dear friend.
Come on, Paul, you know how these things work.
Oh, man, don't tell me you haven't stopped your shady dealings.
Don't even go there, Paul. You think I don't know how you suddenly become rich? Stop the judgmental thing, let's live our lives. Remember, we were once rookies, running from one law court to the other, looking for leftover litigations for peanuts. So, tell me, where are you flying to today?
I'm meeting a client. He's been hospitalized with a terminal ailment.
That's a good bad news.
How do you mean? Listen, this guy in question has been nothing but good to me. He's like a father to me. So, I owe him the best of my loyalty.
Well, I hope we land safely. The turbulence is getting bad. And wait a minute, did you say loyalty? In that case, good luck with whatever you chose to do. And don't forget to call me when you return. We might have a few businesses to take care of.
Paul, I'm glad you could come. Of course, Mr. Wilson. Why am I your attorney? Well then, did you bring the documents? I did. I left them in the car. I just needed to ensure you are alone. Just as you suggested on the phone. You are such a gem, Paul. Now, you understand I would be going under the doctor's knife in a few days? Of course, I do, sir. Also, I can see you still feel the pain. Perhaps I should run to my car and grab the documents before we continue this discussion. Oh yes. Those papers are vital in this meeting. And if you don't mind, please get me some sandwiches and a bottle of soda. I can't stand the taste of the food in this hotel. That wouldn't be a problem, sir. This guy is beginning to get on my nerves. Sending me around as a mere house help. I'm a lawyer for crying out loud. He didn't even give me money for the stupid sandwich and soda. Jeez.
Hello, sir. You rang for housekeeping. But since we've maintained your room a few hours ago, is there any particular cleaning you want us to take care of?
Never mind, ma'am. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. Thank you for all the insights, Paul. And well, now that we are completely done with the will and other matters, I think it will be nice for a refreshment at the hotel bar or some restaurant around. There, we should be able to discuss other less stressing issues. That sounds like fun to me. But I want to ask a question, sir. What is it? Are you not afraid of dying? Of leaving everything you worked so hard for behind? Listen, Paul, there is a time in one's life when fear suddenly becomes nothing. You see, when you drink water, you know it's water. When you drink beer, of course, you understand it's beer. Now, when you go to sleep, you know it's not the same as dying, even though you may die in your sleep. However, when your own death is foretold several months before it happens, you will certainly have a different worldview. First, the fear, then you start to live in denial before the acceptance. The last part, which is acceptance, helps you to nullify the fear. That is the part one I'm right now. Besides, God has given me so much to a point I have nothing to blame him for. Not everyone will reason the same way. Of course, because not everyone is me. Now, let's go get some refreshments. Thanks for the meal, Mr. Wilson. Oh, it's nothing, Paul. But anyways, I wanted us to take this walk so we could finish up our discussions in private. You know, as they say, the walls have ears. That is correct. Good. Paul, as you may have noticed on the will, I didn't mention 2 very important people in my life. Don't tell me you have a family after all. Do you? No. The persons in this regard are Lucas, my gardener, and Josephine, my cook. These individuals treated me with dignity, respect, and love. I could ask for nothing more from them. Besides, their loyalty was something out of this earth. I hear you. So, what do you want me to do? Dismiss them? Not at all. But well, you could do that only when I've been confirmed dead. But that is not the point I am trying to make. You see, both Lucas and Josephine are in fact husband and wife. Unfortunately, they have no children, and you can see they are arguably beyond childbearing age. Except, of course, God decides to show them mercy, as in the case of Abraham and Sarah. Really? Why didn't I know this before now? And why are you always quoting the Bible? You know I don't believe in that thing. I'm sorry, but I can't help it. However, their matter it is not within your jurisdiction. I am what you are, my lawyer, and not them. Anyways, to get things straight, I want you to bequeath the 3-bedroom apartment they are occupying now to them. Also, before I undergo the surgery, I will transfer some money into your trust account. This money must be handed to them as soon as I pass on. It was my silent promise to them. That won't be a problem. This is a big space, Bobby. How much is the rent?
Money? That's not how a rich dude like you should be thinking, Paul. Listen, our partnership will mean a lot to me. To us, I mean. This space isn't a rental accommodation. We are, in fact, standing in one of my priced complexes. The lease just got expired, so I decided to use it instead.
Wow. You don't cease to amaze me, Bobby. I love this place. Come on, look at the windows. The view is exquisite.
You could say that again. By the way, how's your client doing? Is he dead yet?
Don't be mean. But anyway, I haven't heard anything yet. Who knows, he might survive it all. The guy is damn religious. Can you imagine? He asked me to give that beautiful apartment on Essen Street to some strangers. Also, he transferred $360,000 into my trust account to be handed to these same strangers.
He did that? You see what I mean? Before you know it, you will only be left with your legal fees, part of which you've already received. Tell me, does this Wilson guy have any other personal attorney except you? Because if he does, then we must take this fight to another level. But if he doesn't, then it's a win-win situation for you. You finally got the call? That's good. So, what did the doctor say?
He didn't make it. Mr. Wilson is dead. What a life.
Is that why you are this gloomy? Get this thing straight. If you want to be in this game, then you must trash every sentiment you've got in that mind of yours. Your Mr. Wilson was not your father, brother, uncle, or related to you in any way. You were his damn attorney. But more importantly, the only way to gain in all of this is to act fast and smart, and stop sulking like a child.
Thank you, Bobby. You have just made my day.
Does that mean you will finally sign the papers for the partnership?
I can't wait. But it beats me why these youngsters are so inclined to throw every good opportunity away for quick riches. What was Paul thinking, Mr. Wilson? He probably thought I was foolish. However, I was, and still deeply disappointed with his actions. I took that lad like my son. You know, the son I never had. I was prepared to do much more for him. So, he ejected Lucas and Josephine from their apartment, and then tried to sell it? That was mean and insensitive. Did he not know that Josephine is your half-sister? Paul didn't know a lot about me. But, of course, I was getting to let him into my world. But then I began to see traces of his mischievousness. And funny enough, he had no clue I had a bigger attorney like you. Young blood and their so-called stupid Generation Z mindset. That's something. Do you know he attempted 4 times to withdraw the $360,000 in his trust account, even when he had chased Lucas and Josephine away? What can I say? Trust to me is mythical in some sense. The level of moral decadence in society today is daunting. Perhaps if Paul had the chance to kill me, literally speaking, he would have done it long ago. I'm glad you are alive. But now that he's in the police custody, what next? And don't you think that question is best answered by you? Of course, taking legal action is my business. No. I want you to get him out of the police custody. But you must ensure he doesn't come anywhere near me. Really? Forgiveness? You are one of a kind, Mr. Wilson. But what about your asset in his possession? I do not naturally see vehicles as assets. But, of course, he can keep that one. You see, Paul was not a bad person at the onset. I'm sure something happened to him along the line. Our Paul is the luckiest person alive. Normally, his kind of crime would not only get him more than 10 years in prison, but would also terminate his legal license. That is why I urge you to do everything in your power to end this immediately. Can you do that for my sake? Who am I to say no to you, Mr. Wilson? Besides, it makes my job even easier. Thank you.